demigods are servants of Krishna. That means, in one sense, demigods are also devotees of Lord Krishna. So why is it said that those who are following devotional path are greater than the demigods? Actually, if you see, all the devatas are administrative posts, whether Surya, Chandra, Vayu, Agni, Indra, etc. They are all administrative posts. Those individuals who are qualified with sufficient amount of punya are given the opportunity to occupy those posts. Now you will see many times the asuras come and displace the devatas and they occupy the Swargaloka, they occupy the throne of Indra. Many times it happens. And now whenever that happens, Vishnu will step in and remove the asuras and put the devatas back in. Why? Why should he do that? Whoever is stronger, let them rule? No. The devatas are devotees of Krishna. And so therefore, whenever the asuras who are inimical to Vishnu displace the devatas, Vishnu will come to the rescue of the devatas. In fact, the definition of the word deva and asura is given in the Vedic scriptures. It is stated, Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin daiva asura evacha. Fundamentally, in this material world, there are two classes of living entities. Broadly, very broadly speaking. Daiva and asura. One is called Daiva, one is called asura. So what is this Daiva and asura? Vishnu bhakto smrito Daiva asurastad viparyayaha. Simple definition. One who is a Vishnu bhakta, one who is a devotee of Vishnu or Krishna, Vishnu bhakto smrito Daiva. He is called a devata. He is called Daiva. Asurastad viparyayaha. Those who do not accept the supremacy of Vishnu, those who are not devotees of Vishnu, they are all asuras. Normally, our understanding of asura means he must be an atheist. Somebody is a devotee of Shiva, then he is not an asura. That's our understanding. But actually, the Vedic scriptures say, if somebody is not a devotee of Vishnu, but he is a devotee of any other devata, he is an asura. So when I say this, some people may get offended. What is this man saying? How can somebody who is a devotee of Lord Shiva be an asura? But reality is, look at all the asuras. No, look at Ravana. Whose devotee was he? Was he devotee of Vishnu? No. He was inimical to Ramachandra, who is Vishnu himself. Whose devotee was he? He was devotee of Lord Shiva. So you look at many of the asuras, they were all devotees of Lord Shiva. Ravana is one of the prime examples. There were others also, Vrikasura and so many others. So, anybody becomes a devotee of Vishnu, only he is called a Daiva. That means all the devatas, in other words, all the devatas are called devatas. Why? Because they are devotees of Vishnu. Otherwise, they will be called asuras. And because Vishnu appoints them on the posts of devatas as Indra, Chandra, Vayu, etc., Brahma, etc. Therefore, whenever the asuras go and try to occupy those posts, why? Because the asuras want to occupy the post because they are inimical to Vishnu. They say, oh, you have appointed them, we will displace them. And therefore, every time the asuras displace the devatas, Vishnu will come to the rescue of the devatas. And so, by definition, a devata is a person who is a devotee of Vishnu. Now the question comes, you look at Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is said, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. He is the greatest Vaishnava. And the Lord Shiva himself has said, Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnor aradhanam param. The highest form of worship is to worship Vishnu. Tasmat parataram devi tadiyanam samarchanam. But if you worship a devotee of Vishnu, it is higher than worshipping Vishnu. That also he has said. So now if Ravana is going and worshipping Lord Shiva, why is he called an asura? He is worshipping a devotee of Vishnu. So why is Ravana then called an asura? He should also be called a devata. The point is, when Shiva is saying, Tadiyanam samarchanam, worshipping a devotee of Vishnu is higher than worshipping Vishnu directly. What it means is, you worship Lord Shiva as a devotee of Vishnu, then you become a devata. If you worship Shiva is the supreme, And Vishnu, I have no consideration for Vishnu. Vishnu is my enemy. I'll worship Lord Shiva and I'll become superior to Vishnu. I'll be able to fight against Vishnu, just like Ravana did. He worshipped Shiva, got a lot of power from him, and he decided, now I'll fight against Ramachandra. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu, he worshipped Brahma, got all benedictions from him, and he said, now I have become more powerful than Vishnu, I'll fight against him. If you do that, then you are an asura. You continue to remain an asura. If you worship Lord Shiva, that, oh Shiva, you are the greatest devotee of Vishnu, please, I am worshipping your lotus feet, please give me devotion to Krishna, please bless me with devotion to Krishna, then you are considered a devata. If you worship a devata thinking that he is the supreme, then you are an asura. If you worship a devata with the understanding that he is a devotee of Vishnu, and if I worship him and I get a benediction from him to become a devotee of Vishnu, then you are a devata. This is what the Vedic scriptures are stating. So therefore, a devotee of a devata need not necessarily be a Vaishnava. This is the understanding. Yes? Daksha Prajapati. What about him? Exactly. So, when we speak of a devotee of Vishnu, Daksha accepted the position of Vishnu, but he offended Lord Shiva. So, what do we have to understand from that? If you see, when we speak of a devotee of Vishnu means, Vaishnava means, he will have great respect for all other Vaishnavas. So, Daksha's problem was, even though he may have accepted the supremacy of Vishnu, he offended Lord Shiva. He did not recognize the position of Shiva as a pure devotee. So, Daksha was not a pure devotee. He was a Sakama Bhakta. He had material desires. To fulfill his material desires, he was worshipping Vishnu. So, therefore, what happened? His whole yajna itself got destroyed. Lord Shiva and his Asura and his Bhutaganas, they came and destroyed his yajna. So Vishnu did not come. Actually, the Bhagavatam describes Daksha, he wanted to conduct the yajna without inviting Lord Shiva. So Daksha created a big yajna and he invited all the devatas. He invited Brahma because Brahma was his father. He invited Vishnu and all the other devatas. He did not send an invitation to Lord Shiva. And that is when Sati told Shiva that I want to go. After all, he is my father. Lord Shiva told her, don't go. If you go, if you go as an uninvited guest, your father will speak something against me. You will not be able to tolerate. It will become a big problem. So don't go. But she did not listen. She went. And then what Shiva predicted happened and she gave up her body. We know all that story. But when that yajna Daksha was performing, because he did not invite Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu did not go to the yajna, although they had been invited. You see, if you directly become a devotee of Vishnu, Vishnu will not accept you. So, Krishna says that Name Bhaktaha, Me Bhaktaha. Those who call themselves my devotees, Krishna is saying, they are not my devotees. Yo mad bhaktanam bhaktaha, te me bhaktaha. Those who are the devotees of my devotees, I consider only them as my devotees. So if somebody becomes a devotee of Krishna or Vishnu and becomes puffed up that I am a devotee of Krishna, who is Lord Shiva? I don't care for him. I don't care for Lord Ganesha. I don't care for any of the devatas. Then he is not a Vaishnava. Vaishnava means he will hold all other Vaishnavas in great respect and he will consider himself the lowest Vaishnava. Dasa dasanu dasaha. One who considers I am the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. Only he can be a devotee of Krishna. One who thinks, no, I am the servant of Krishna, Krishna will not accept him. That is why 7th chapter, 1st verse, what does Krishna say? Krishna says, Mad Ashrayaha. You have to take shelter of my devotee, then only you can know me. 4th chapter, Krishna says, Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Krishna told Arjuna, go to my devotee, take shelter of him, and then the knowledge will be revealed to you. Krishna did not tell, come and directly surrender to me. Although Krishna also told, Sarva dharman paritejya mamekam sharanam vraja. But then, how to surrender to Krishna? You cannot directly surrender to Krishna. You have to surrender to a pure devotee of Krishna. Arjuna was different. He was a direct associate of Krishna, so he could directly surrender to Krishna. But others are not like that. We have to approach a pure devotee who is coming in the Guru Shishya Parampara, stemming from Krishna. We cannot directly become a devotee of Krishna. We cannot worship Krishna directly. So therefore, we have to approach Prabhupada, who is 32nd in the line of Guru Shishya Parampara, and accept him as our spiritual master and surrender to him. Then he will guide us back to Krishna. Then Krishna will accept us. There is the example of the Prachetas, who were all sons, who were all, there were 100 sons. And these Prachetas, they were seeking out. They wanted to please Narayana. So on the way, they met Lord Shiva. And the moment they saw Lord Shiva, immediately they offered Dandavats to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva became very pleased with them. And he told them, I'm very happy to know that you are all going to worship Lord Narayana. So come, I will give you the mantra by which you can worship him. So Shiva became the spiritual master for the Prachetas. And they took the mantra given by Lord Shiva and they went to the Himalayas. They practiced that mantra and finally they attained perfection. So you see, the Prachetas, the difference between the Prachetas and Ravana was, Prachetas did not see Lord Shiva as supreme. They accepted the shelter of Lord Shiva to be able to worship Narayana. So Lord Shiva acted as their spiritual master and guided them back to Krishna. Whereas when Ravana came to Shiva, he did not accept him as a spiritual master. He wanted only material boons. Give me this, give me that. Dhanam dehi, rupam dehi, bharya dehi, dehi. He was only asking. So Shiva also said, okay, take, and headache chutega, somehow send him away, give him whatever he wanted, go away. Don't give me headache like this. So Lord Shiva did not give him Krishna consciousness. So if you approach Lord Shiva as a pure devotee and seek from him guidance how to approach Krishna, how to become a devotee of Krishna, then Shiva will act as your spiritual master and he will guide you. On the other hand, if you approach him as the supreme, then he will not bother. Whatever you ask, he will go and he will get lost. You understand? So, in the case of Daksha, by doing Vaishnava aparad, one cannot go back to Godhead. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also stated, in our spiritual progress, Vaishnava aparada, to offend a pure devotee, is considered a mad elephant offense. You have created a very nice garden full of beautiful flowering plants, and they are all flowering, blossoming. You have done a lot of devotional service. The creeper of Bhakti Lata is giving many fruits. And in the midst of that garden, you bring one mad elephant and let it loose. What will happen? The mad elephant will not see anything. Flower, beautiful flower, fragrant flower. Will it see anything? It will simply blindly trample everything and destroy everything. Vaishnava aparad is considered a mad elephant offense. If on the path of spiritual life, if we offend Vaishnavas, then Krishna will not accept us, we will not be able to go back to Godhead. So, if you want to become a Vaishnava, you have to first learn to respect other Vaishnavas. And that is why Krishna said in the Bhagavad-gita that tad vidhi pranipatena. First thing is go to my devotee, pranipata, surrender to him first. Then I will reveal myself to you. You see, directly nobody can become a devotee of Krishna. You have to first approach a pure devotee, take his shelter, and then when you become humble like that, then Krishna will reveal himself. And that is why Krishna in the Bhagavad-gita also lists 20 items of knowledge. how to develop spiritual knowledge, there are 20 things which you have to cultivate to be able to grasp spiritual knowledge. One of the things is humility. Without becoming humble, you cannot obtain spiritual knowledge. And without spiritual knowledge, there is no question of going back to God. So therefore, we have to understand that unless we learn to respect even the devatas as devotees of Krishna, and we do not disrespect anyone, and we learn to respect all devotees, and we develop the mood of being the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. Until we develop that mood, we cannot go back to God. Is that clear? So that is the lesson we have to learn from the example of Daksha. Okay? You can be a Prajapati, you can be the son of Brahma, you can be such a great personality that when you conduct a yajna, all the devatas will come personally and sit. But if you offend a Vaishnava like Lord Shiva, Brahma and Vishnu will not come to your yajna. They refuse to come. You see? So Vishnu refused to come. So therefore, we should not get carried away by our material position. By our position as a Vaishnava also, we should not get carried away. We should learn to become humble, and that is what will attract Krishna's attention.